We love getting your questions, so we want you to keep them coming via Facebook, Twitter, and on our webpage. Who knows, we might just answer your question here in the studio audience next, right now.
Welcome back. Spirit and I are joined by our special guest, comedian Tom Green.
Hello, how are you doing now? Good to see you.
Tom's here today because he shares a special connection with our guests. Now you're going to meet Kim. Like Tom, she's also a stand-up comic. But Kim suffers from what she believes is a debilitating depression that she says keeps her in bed for up to 11 hours a day. Take a look.
If you can put on a thong and can't see the front or the back of it, you're a flop off.
Because I am a comedian, it's my job to always be happy and make people laugh. But secretly, I do suffer from depression. These last 4 months, the depression has been the darkest it has ever been. I found myself sleeping all day. I could spend the whole week and not really get out of bed. Tears just come out of nowhere. My girls are basically taking care of themselves. It makes me feel like I'm useless as a mother. I'm afraid to tell people that I have depression because of the judgment. I can't live like this anymore. My greatest fear with my depression is that I'll lose myself, and if I can't take care of myself, then I won't be able to take care of my girls.
So Kim, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really glad you're here, and I know you've got some questions for us and a story to tell, so just jump right in. What can we help you with?
Well, one of my main concerns with me, battling with the depression that I have is actually taking a medication, because that kind of scares me because if you already feel like you at that edge, I don't need anything to push me over. Mm-hmm. So, I'm just kind of scared of that part.
What makes you think that it would be the medication that would push you over?
Well, with all the different side effects, that people have, and that one just sticks out to me.
So talk to me about the biggest side effect that you're most worried about compared to what you're already dealing with.
Is me attempting suicide.
I got you. I got you. Well, one of the things that we know about medication is that when you talk about suicidal ideation, especially for antidepressants, those kind of warnings are particularly for individuals under the age of 25. I know that that's one of the biggest fears that everybody has, is that I'm afraid to take medication because I don't want it to make me different than who I am. But if it's already to the point that you can't get up out of bed every day, what would be the thing that stops you from saying anything is worth a try at this point?
I think the thing that will help me is thinking more so of my kids and, doing better, for them to get myself healthier so I can, take care of them.
Talk to us about your kids a little bit.
I adopted my 2 nieces, Brittany and Brianna. Brittany was 13 months old and Brianna was 2.5 years old. Mm-hmm. And they're my biological nieces. They're my brother's children. Mm-hmm. So they got into a little trouble, whatever, but I stepped in and now I'm a mom again.
I want to definitely spend some time on your kids, but I want to stay with you for a minute because
Okay.
I think you've been really impacted here by depression. I understand it really well, and I think Tom's got some experience with it too.
That's why.
Tom, what are your thoughts?
Well, I just think that comedians in general tend to get into that place that you're talking about. I haven't experienced it in any way at the level that you have, but I think that when you're constantly getting up on stage and trying to think of things that are ridiculous or wrong with the world, it can kind of bring you to a strange place. Do you know why you were depressed? Is it coming from your work? Is it coming from a lot of comedians when they do stand-up, they get up on stage and you get a big adrenaline rush from that. You get a big high from that. And then when you get off stage, you have a low. That's where that comes from. So you think maybe it could be something to do with that, or is there something you're thinking about in your life that is bothering you?
It's kind of a combination of everything. I was going through like a breakup with someone, so instead of me, it was more like, forget her, I'm just gonna go on with my life and just, everyday thing, just keep going. But I believed I pushed it down so far down that I never, dealt with it. And as far as, with being a comedian, I've been doing comedy for 8 years, and I feel I should be at a certain point
And I love doing comedy. I love making people laugh. I love, you know, performing. But I feel for me, it's not happening fast enough like I want it to. It's like, when is going to be my time?
And now one of the questions that I have, because I want to make sure that we're not displacing or naming the depression in the wrong place, I want to get clear on if it's really a situational issue, or has this been something that you've been dealing with even before the comedy? Do you remember the first time that you were depressed?
I would say about the time I was like 14 or 15, so, you know, I've always had it. And normally I'm like a 24-hour girl. I feel what I feel, you know, deal with it and just go on with it. But for some reason, these last 4 months, it's like been a really dark month for me, and I've just, you know, been sitting.
I refer to my experience more as stress. I get stressed. You know, I'm a stressed out guy.
Okay.
I'm always stressing out about stuff.
You stressed.
Yeah, I'm always freaking out about something.
Okay.
But like lately, you know, as I got older, I get a little more stress, and as you get older, you get more of that. And exercise is good. There's this mountain over here. I just walk up to the top of this mountain every time I get stressed. By the time I'm at the top of the mountain, I usually feel pretty good.
You're
It's
too
a nice,
tired to be stressed.
Yeah. Nice
I
view up
wouldn't
there.
even make it, okay?
Yeah,
I'm going to roll right back down.
Just go walk halfway up the mountain then.
Next, how do Kim's daughters feel about their mother's depression? We're going to find out right after this.
Coming up on the Daily Helpline.
Trying to explain depression to a non-depressed person is kind of like trying to give a fish a bath.
The time to get real is now.
This is
There
kind
it
of
is.
hard.
We love getting your questions, so we want you to keep them coming via Facebook, Twitter, and on our webpage. Who knows, we might just answer your question here in the studio audience next.